We're getting to the end of this, so I want to just go through a couple of things to make sure you're clear on this. All of these moves are defensive moves, but that doesn't mean they couldn't be used as offense. For example, you could reach over and take somebody and simply put on an S. They don't know what you're going to do. What would stop them from doing this? I go to put on an S. Let's say he's flinching with pain and he straightens his arm out to get away. Well, then I go to an arm bar. But once I've got a hold of him, this is my winning position. You should not lose once you've got a winning position. But sometimes this, which seems so simple to people that have done it, is somewhat confusing. They don't realize that we're twisting and we're cutting him down the middle. If I'm just going to go down, he'll go right down with me. If I don't twist, I go down, he goes down. That doesn't hurt. He'll just go down with me. But if you're going to twist, then it hurts. That pretty much concludes the short course. And again, there are thousands of techniques, but that's not helpful. What you need are defaults, things that you always do, things that are done in a knee-jerk. It's your reaction all the time. Thousands of techniques will do you no good at all. I mean, what is this going to be, that all of a sudden you have a drop-down menu with 37 choices, half of the 37 have more choices? If you're going to stop and think, you're dead meat. You need defaults. Defaults are the essence of the short course. Thank you. Okay, now I'm going to give you sort of a glossary. I've used a lot of terms and it may not be completely clear what it is that I'm talking about. So I want to first go through the S-arm one more time. Again, you can always do this as a first move, but you reach over from the cross hand. Some of the time you've got 4 fingers, but that's not always true. It could be 3 fingers, it could be 2 fingers, it's never going to be 1. But it doesn't necessarily have to be the whole hand. It depends upon how big the hand is. And what I really want is this, where I've got the thumb, because this is better control. But if I'm initiating the move in the first place, I may actually have to use my finger and create the bend. And I guess that means I'm going to be doing the twisting with one hand because I've got to maintain the bend. I don't have the opportunity to take the thumb. I can live with this. Just be aware of the fact that if you're grabbing here, this makes no sense. You don't have, this. It's worthless to have your hand at the wrist in this manner. Okay. You can go back and forth on this because I go to twist him, but he straightens his arm out. I go ahead and do an arm bar. He twists back to get away from the pain of the arm bar. Now, an S-arm is not a funnel. A funnel is this. And essentially what I'm doing with the twist is I'm twisting this way. And with all of these twists, I'm going directly into my opponent. I am not coming off to the side because all he's going to do is turn away from me. Where are we using the funnel? At the arm. Remember, skin on skin, and he grabs me at the bicep. I trap the hand and I go ahead and I twist him. That's a funnel, that's not an S. It might be an S if he turns in that manner, but generally it's not. They reach out, and just like he is now, they've got a straight arm. So I go with it. We go into the turn, and essentially what I'm doing is twisting, and it's a funnel. Now let's look at the hinge one more time. This is the top, this is the bottom, this is the part that opens. How does it open? Because I'm going to do this, and when you first start playing with it, you've got to make sure that it's straight. But this is enormously painful, and it's something that very few people have seen. Here's what it looks like. Come to the other side. So that if he's got me, I can actually do it off of the shoulder. It's not the default. The default is coming up and over. But can I do it off the shoulder? Well, frankly, I can do it from anywhere on my body. I'm all the way over. Notice I'm not laying on his forearm. It's always that my hand covers my fingers, and I'm able to put him down. You originally saw this as a skin-on-skin technique where instead of pulling, he's pushing. But again, what am I doing? I'm putting my finger on the top of the hinge. I'm bringing the hinge up, dropping my weight on him. Down he goes. Very, very painful. I don't know. Within the short course, there is one favored come along. And I'm going to demonstrate. You're going to be taking with this finger from the cross hand. And, okay, here's the bad guy. I'm going to arrest him. What am I going to do? I'm going to put my hand in here, and I'm going to spin. And as I do, I'm going to take him. Let's do that one more time. I'm going to reach across. It could be I'm walking one way and he's walking the other. Nonetheless, I'm going to put my hand in here, and rather than my strength pulling him, I'm going to turn my body. Here, come over this side. I'm going to turn my body so that it's actually the turn of my body that pulls the arm up, exposes the hand, 2 fingers, thumb. I slide down. As I'm sliding down, it gets smaller, 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 until I seed my hand on his wrist, and I'm about ready to compress, and you can see what I mean about the compression. To compress, I've got my finger hooked in here to make sure that the arm stays bent, and as I begin to compress, I'm going to have to push out. If I'm pushing out and slightly pushing down, he won't be able to stomp on my foot. He won't be able to poke me in the eye. I'm going to be too close. I'm going to get poked in the eye. That means that if you're going to do one of these deals where you're kind of holding it, you know, some people don't feel the pain. The next thing you know, I'm getting poked in the eye, and I had a winner, but I lost it, all because I didn't play it safe and advance my hands. This movement works well to take someone out of a car, off of a chair. We'll now do the chair. Okay, here is someone that I want to throw out of the party. So what do? I'm going to reach over, take my finger on the fold of the elbow, and instead of trying to pull up, which may be difficult, all I have to do is turn away from him, and the arm will come right up. Slide down to take the hand, give it a compression. He's going to fly out of the seat. And if my hands are advanced, in other words, not bent, but advanced, straight, he has no opportunity to poke me, to punch me, to do anything. I can completely control him. Now, turn it off for 1 second. Okay, one of the questions is how to control someone who's acting in a wild manner. And there are various ways of holding someone to the ground until assistance can arrive, but certainly one of the easiest ways, I'm going to put him to the ground with an armbar. All right, now, frequently they're flopping all around like a fish out of water, and it's very difficult to control the subject. But if you will simply straddle and sit back right here, and notice how I've got the thumb? He will never be able to stand up on me and get away. I can be here for a half hour and it won't really matter. He can do absolutely nothing. The most common mistake is that people sit back too far. He's strong enough to resist and he roll over. Now I'm going to have to do this until someone arrives. But again, that's an easy mistake to avoid. Sit on the arm, don't sit on the back. It's a very strong move. He can't get away from me. All right, stop it for a second.